You are listening to the Urban Sports Scene on Empire Media. That's empiremedia.com. And it is now time for HBCU Corner. And our special guest is the reigning 2022-2023 MEAC Player of the Year. She is none other than Howard University star guard, Destiny Howell. Destiny, what's good? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, appreciate having you on too. Definitely appreciate you for being on the show.
We're trying to set this up for a minute, so it's cool. You know, I got to cover you all this season as well, so I got some insight. I feel like as to just what's your thought process is going into this off season. But we want to start off just trying to have a little fun. You know, some softball questions. And you are from New York. For those who don't know, who are listening or who are watching this, what's that journey been like from New York to DC? And are you aware that New York and DC got a hoops rivalry thing going on?
So New York and DC aren't that much different. It was honestly easier for me to adapt into DC because of the similarities with me being in the city already. When I took my visit to Howard, it felt like home. I burbled on the visit, which many people don't know. Although I know about the hoops rivalry, I feel like you can't really compare, New York.
I knew it was gonna happen. I knew this was gonna happen.
Of course, I think New York Hoopers are better. I gotta say that.
I got you. So how would you compare a New York Hooper to a DC Hooper?
I would just feel like New York Hoopers got their own swag. It's not necessarily like I could watch a basketball game and be like, oh yeah, they from New York. And I can't really say that about DC Hoopers. Not saying that they don't produce a lot of talent in the DC, DMV area, because no, they definitely do. But that's just what I personally feel.
All right. So we got the I'm gonna tell you, like KD got the DMV swag in terms of his little pull up, his dribble hezzy pull up. I'm just saying that's our little thing. That's our thing. I'm just letting you know. Dribble hezzy pull up. That's our thing. Just letting you know.
Yeah. So I just want to ask you. So what's the difference between like the food in DC and New York? We hear New York has better food, better late night spots. What's your thoughts?
I would say definitely. Food in New York is better, but the accessibility, I could go get food 2 a.m. I could go get food whenever I want. And I know that I have good options of getting food. DC, you got stuff closing at 8, 9. I'm like, dang, I can't even, after practice, we get out sometimes 9:30, 10. So it ain't nothing to eat besides McDonald's. And, that's not really what people want to eat after practice. So.
I know this is true though. This is true. Unless you go away to Adams Morgan. Unless you go to Adams Morgan though. They stay.
Like crime, the whole chocolate city thing. We was good back then, but now things have changed. I'm gonna say that much.
Man.
But I get it. New York,
I got a question about the food. You been to Cuts and Slices in Brooklyn?
You know what's crazy? I just went there yesterday.
It's bomb.
I got I went there yesterday. They was closed, so we went somewhere else to go get oxtail pizza. But they got a lot of different choices, a lot of different slices. Yeah.
I went there for the first time. I was like, Jesus Christ. all types of topics, right? You gotta go, Ray. You gotta go, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta catch the train next time because I told you, man, I struggled driving last time I was in New York. Yeah, I had some issues. Let's put it that way. So I'm gonna head back though soon, no doubt, man. I love New York for real. Like I have no issues with New York. And New York is considered like the mecca of basketball.
It is facts.
And you go to technically the mecca of HBCUs. So I think that's kind of dope. You ever made that connection?
Yeah. When actually on my visit, they were telling me about the history behind the mecca just at Howard and how basketball in New York is considered the mecca. So it was pretty cool.
So Dusty, who's your favorite Hooper?
I would have to say in the NBA, Steph Curry, hands down. WNBA, right now it's kind of up in the air between Chelsea Gray and Enrique Gumbawale. I really like the both of their games.
She's Nigerian. Second was Nigerian. Just let you know. That's Nigerian.
So I know.
I know. Yeah.
See, I ain't even representing Steph as light skin. You already know we holding it down, man. Taylor Martin doing his thing, but we gonna ask you about the WNBA later. I got a question about that. But to get started, I've interviewed Coach Grace a number of times. She's been on this show as well, man. Coach Grace, that's my people's. Whenever she talks about you, she always has a lot of great things to say, including the New York connection. But she also talked about the energy that you bring to the team, just with your scoring and playmaking. Does that go into your thought process when you approach the game? Like, I got to get my team energized, so I'm not just going out here to get buckets, but I want to make sure I'm getting everybody else involved.
So I feel like when I approach the game, I'm thinking about mainly controlling my energy because I know that's the only aspect of my game that I can control for sure every time that I go out on the floor. So scoring and playmaking, that usually comes along with my game, but that's not what I'm thinking about when I approach the game. I tell myself that I can't control how many times the ball goes in the hoop, but anything other than that, I can control being a good teammate and the energy that I bring on the floor every time that I step.
If you had to describe your hoop skills to anybody who hasn't seen you play before, how would you describe it?
3-level scorer, mainly a shooter. You gotta get out there on a three. Don't get out there. I'm a light y'all up.
Oh, I saw it in the tournament. I saw it in the championship game too. I saw how you was going.
Yeah.
You was on one.
Yeah, that championship game, that was your best game of the tournament, if you remember. I mean, you, especially in the first half, like you were just on fire, and then you made some big plays late.
Oh my God.
And during that game, I don't know if you were aware, on social media, you were trending as a WNBA prospect. Is that a goal of yours? We just talked about that. Or what are your goals outside or after basketball at Howard, after graduation, post collegiate career?
So my goal overall is to play professionally. That's definitely something that, I've wanted to do since I was about 9 years old. Whether that's overseas or whether that's in the WNBA, only God has the answer to that. But I feel like I definitely have the capability of playing pro basketball, period. After I played professionally, I would like to coach college basketball. That's also been something that, has been in my mind heavy as I started going into my high school career, and especially as I got into college.
I'm a fan about claiming it. I think you win the WNBA. The game I saw, like, you got WNBA games. You gotta claim it. It's gonna happen.
I appreciate that.
You gotta claim that, for a real talk. So speaking of the championship game, in the aftermath, you were pretty much, promised to lift your team to a championship this upcoming season. What is it going to take to get the team back to the NCAA tournament?
I personally think it's going to take a lot of resilience, consistency, and just getting better, and just hunger, period. I'm confident because, I know that individually and as a team, we're going to do whatever it takes to not be in a position that we were in last year. Nobody likes feeling that disappointment. Nobody likes feeling that hurt. So I feel like we're going to take those losses and those lessons that we had all throughout last season and apply it to next season. I was able to get, a glimpse of what that NCAA tournament experience was like. And, I've been chasing that feeling ever since. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know in that last press conference, of course you all were emotional. You had just lost a tight game, but yeah, you made that promise. And I was wondering, like, man, she's confident. Like, I can promise you, you're going to be here next year. We ain't going to have this feeling. So it's a combination of obviously the loss, but just you want to get back to that stage. You want to put your game on notice. I'm thinking that's part of that, what goes into it. Like, you want to be seen on the national stage as well, right?
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
So Ray, so you mentioned Coach Grace, Coach Ty Grace. She's one of the best coaches in the MEAC. What has she meant to you?
If you ask me, I think Coach Ty is the best coach in the MEAC. That's, I'm biased.
Okay, she's dope.
But she's helped me grow into becoming the woman that I am today, not even just on the floor, but especially off the court. I feel like when I came in my freshman year, she saw a lot of potential in me and knew that I was capable of doing things that I didn't feel like that I was capable of doing. She pushes me to be great every day, throughout practice, throughout games, just on the phone, everything. She gives me a lot of tough love and treats me as if I'm one of her own. And being at Howard has had me learn and observe different qualities that she has as a woman that I want to take with me into my everyday life. So she means a lot to me.
That's cool. Like, so y'all also have that New York connection too, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, of course. There's the bias there too. I got you. I did.
Yeah, so you got the coach from New York yourself. You just talked about New York Ballers, but yeah, I got this docuseries coming out, and I think it was you in like the preview clip that said people perceive us as soft. Like, how are y'all as a team? Like, what's up with that? How y'all looked at it soft, and what can you do to change that narrative?
So I feel like this year, not everybody knows the things that we were dealing with off the court. That's what the docuseries is going to, help broadcast, everything that we were dealing with that wasn't necessarily broadcasted to the media. So a lot of people were saying that Howard was soft and we was this. We were losing a lot of people to injury, to just a whole bunch of things that were going on. So on the rebounding battle, we usually lost that battle. And that was something that we've been trying to work on throughout the season. And that has to do with, being strong down there. So I could understand why people would say that, but They ain't gonna be saying that this year. I could tell you that. They ain't gonna be saying that this year.
See, Wole, I told you about the Savage move. Destiny, I don't know if you even paying attention, but that last regular season game, y'all raised the banner and were like, we defeated Norfolk. Y'all get ready to play Norfolk, and their bench went off. And I was like, dang, like that ain't no soft move. Like, I was wondering, like, were y'all part of that? Because I asked Derek. Derek was like, no, I had nothing to do with that. But I was like, hold up, that's not a soft move. And I just like y'all team. I mean, I might be biased because I got a chance to cover you all, but like Asia, Brooklyn, like y'all go hard for real.
Yeah, it's funny because I was actually wondering all season. I'm like, man, like when we gonna drop the banner? Like I know we've had it for some time now. It's been in the works, but we were totally out the loop when that was gonna happen. So yeah, they made the announcement, they dropped it. So everybody's, looking down at the bench like what their reaction, they was talking as they should, probably felt a little disrespected because they announced that Howard University has defeated Norfolk State. And like they kind of gave the whole rundown behind the meaning of the banner, just all of that. So it kind of created some extra tension, extra emotion during the game. And we ended up getting a dub. So it was pretty cool.
What do you have any goals or incentive? You were MEAC Player of the Year. Do you think you can do that again? Is that a goal of yours?
I think that I could definitely do that again. During last season, I realized that it was more of not necessarily a goal, but something that I kind of wanted to accomplish. I was just focused on getting another championship, which that didn't happen. But I definitely think that I have the capability of repeating and doing that again.
So Destiny, this is like one of our last questions, but we asked this question to most of our guests, especially our athletes. What does attending an HBCU mean to you?
To be honest, it means the world to me. I'm getting an experience that people just don't get at other places, at PWIs. Me being at the MEAC, me being at Howard, I'm already getting experience that is limited to very, very few people. The applications that have been going into Howard, especially after Kamala was vice president, it jumped. Tuition jumped, everything jumped. Everybody was trying to hop on the Howard bandwagon. And, me being able to be a part of that and have a big role in, creating history at Howard, leaving my legacy at Howard, it means a lot to me. Being surrounded by the next Black lawyers, Black engineers, business owners, fashion designers, Black excellence overall. I'm glad to be a part of that.
WNBA player
Yes.
too. All right, cool. All right, making sure you say that too. Hey, this is awesome. Destiny, we appreciate you being on. Is there anything you would like to add before we let you go?
Definitely. Once again, I feel like going into the season, we're the underdog. And one thing I've learned about being the underdog is that you never see them coming. And that's all I got to say.
I love it. I love the swag. I love it.
All right, we'll catch you during the season. Appreciate you again for coming on with us.
Thank you for having me again.
Thanks, Destiny.